would say hard line.
Yeah,
Like
very far right.
they're not far right necessarily. They're the ones that vote a straight ticket.
Marissa! What?
What?
Marissa just joined the chat.
Yeah, she said she was gonna.
Oh, she better get her booty in here.
She said she can't because she's in the hotel room with her kids.
Oh, lame.
It was a long day driving. But also, like, they're the ones he like buddies up with, they're all hardline people that are the kind of people that, like, not to bring politics into it too much, but they're the people that will vote a ticket just because somebody says they're affiliated with a particular party, whether the values hold true or not. That's 100%. And they're the ones that are like the type to go out and say, like, oh, these kinds of people are ruining the country. Like,
and he uses that too because he thinks that every single person that's against him must be liberal, and I'm neither. So I'm very much in the center, and I don't even say that because I don't like either. I don't like politics, to be honest with you. So that's where I go on that. I don't like politics at all. I think that they're all two wings of the same bird, and people just love each other and stop worrying about politics. But it does seem that he is attracting that very, very hard right type. And I think that they think that we're just against his dream, that we are against his being free to do what he wants across the country, and it has nothing to do about that. It has everything to do with the way that he's doing it is hurting these horses.
Here's the thing, like, a dream is a plan without goals, and a plan without, or not even a plan without, it's, what's that damn saying? I can't think, I'm too friggin' tired. But, like, there's a difference between a plan and a goal and a dream, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a goal is a dream without planning, right?
Thank you, Basic.
Or no, other way around. Fuck it, anyway. Like, he's got dreams, but he's not going to reach a goal because he failed to plan.
Yeah.
Like, and, like, by all means, reach for your goals, but maybe put a little effort into figuring out how to do it correctly.
Yeah, Butch just said it the right way. She was like, you can live the dream and take care of your horses. Michael literally lives on horseback. And his horses are actually even borderline fat. Right.
They're fat as hell.
They are fat. They are all Bravos. And they're Mustangs. Like, he got the right kind of horse for the job. And he planned his whole trip around where there's grazing, where there's water, and this dude's lived on it for 10 years? I think he's on it now.
He's been out doing it for 10 years. But the other thing too is, like, one of his Mustangs, at least one of them, has been with him since they were a foal, and so, like, he's been conditioning that one for as long as, but before he's been riding her all around, like, so, like, he's continually done it right, and he's learned, and he's made it a point to learn, and he says that.
Yeah, and he said, I've made mistakes, big mistakes. And the thing is that I learn from my mistakes, and I make sure I don't repeat those mistakes. And, you know, he doesn't turn around and he's not trying to make money off of them. He's not trying to, you know, he just wants to live a free life. And you know what? That, to me, should be what is supported, not someone that is finding horses off of Craigslist and then try to sell them for $30,000.
And lest we forget, Michael didn't just jump out there and start doing it. He
started with someone.
Yeah, he started packing with somebody first that was already doing it, learned from them, and then went and did it on his own. Like, it's not like he was just like, I'm going to buy some horses and go live off the land.
Yeah. I mean, and you can totally do it. You're going to learn the hard way, but he does plan his whole life. Every season is planned around where those horses are going to eat, where they're going to get their water, where they're going to get their rest. He plans out. I mean, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. Exactly, FF Star. And I've said it from the very beginning. I have nothing against a long rider doing it right. And the thing is that Cyril had people reaching out to him to help him, and he said, fuck off.
Well, shoot, he asked people for help, and then when people gave him advice, he was like, fuck off.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, so Emily, I believe he is done. He might try to go to Washington at some point, or do an end ride at some point, just so he can have that last bit of footage saying, I'm there, I'm done, you know, but I bet you all those old people are going to be at the end. I bet you they're all going to be standing there in a row as if he hasn't been with them for this entire time. And like that they were the ones waiting for him at the end of his journey. I bet you $1,000,000.
His dad is going to be so disappointed in him, and his granddad too.
I don't
The
know.
only first son that didn't finish. And I'll bet you he's so used to finishing first too that this is going to be the first time he's ever not finished.
Yeah.
And yes, that was a dirty joke.
Everybody's, he's following the law, and the law is not, nothing has stuck. And we're like, but yes, but it has. The problem is that we've had. I can't think. Can you think of one county that he was actually in that we didn't have law enforcement stop him?
I can think of several, not by name. The only ones he got stopped in were Sterling in Texas.
The next one where Post was.
Yeah. But did he actually he didn't actually get stopped there.
I think that was his own little buds that he brought out there just to kind of look at me. I'm not doing anything wrong. And then, but we had in every single state he was stopped, and sometimes multiple times. And the thing is that
he was never contacted in Wyoming by LE either because they couldn't find him.
They couldn't find him, but they were looking for him.
They were looking for him.
They were looking, but he was out in like Teton at that time, right? So, gosh, it feels like we've been doing this for a year.
It feels like entirely too long. It's been a quarter of a year as of next week.
That is insane.
You realize that? It's been 4 months on the 9th.
So right now, you guys, he is hiding out, apparently going on joyrides, and we do know some other stuff, but we just can't say anything yet. But we are also, I'm trying to.
We're hopeful.
Yes, hopeful that this last little leg here has some bite to it.
Yeah, we're cautiously optimistic.
Yes. He's been more than 100 days. He was not arrested. However, he was stopped, detained on the road. The horses were given a look over. Unfortunately, he was not on the horses at that time. He had just gone to the gas station and came back. And he left the horses unattended when the sheriff pulled up on him. He was just arriving back. But the landowner he had just been on had just given him multiple bags of food. So they gave him a misdemeanor because he did not have the correct paperwork. And then also gave him a lawful order not to ride until he was vet cleared. He did take him to the vet the next day. They were not vet cleared. All they had was their CVI or their health certificate that was done that day.
And the tricky thing is, I've had a lot of people mention, well, he got a stop ride order in Idaho, so why can't they enforce it? Well, Idaho doesn't have jurisdiction over Montana.
That is true.
So, there's a whole lot of crap that isn't going to happen unless he goes back into Idaho.
Oh yeah, we're full on looking at every single law that we possibly can, and we're actually doing a lot of the law enforcement's job, sending it to them, highlighting and circling and saying, hey, you have a loophole right here, or you have this, whatever it is. We are watching every kill pen auction. I, to be honest, highly doubt he's going to be doing that anytime soon. I think that he thinks he's going to sell them for $60,000 or more. I think he really
all
truly
y'all
believes
who
it.
have put in offers, thank you.
Yeah, anybody that's putting in all those offers, I would really be surprised if any of them were legit.
Yeah, we know what the offers, what some of them are, and it's absolutely outlandish.
Wait, some of it down. But we're still going to be watching. Let's see.
We're gonna be like Hadaway.
I heard them back up. So
what's that?
Someone said I thought he brought it down to 50, but I think they went back up. I'm not 100% on that though.
From what we've heard today, we had somebody tell us what.
I don't want to put that out yet because they're still talking.
I'm not. But we've had a couple of people report what they thought the offer was that he would accept, and it hadn't changed.
Yeah. Does he think those offers are real? I think he really does think the offers are real. And who knows? Maybe real offers are coming in that we don't know about.
Yeah, absolutely could be.
I highly doubt anybody would be stupid enough to pay that much money. I think he truly believes that he is so amazing and has such amazing fans that they just would do nothing less than 60,000.
What he's failing to realize because of inexperience is like everybody sees those horses and sees that they're not worth anywhere remotely close. He's pissed off the entire horse community, so he's going to get a ton of fake offers. So like I think in his mind those horses are worth that much.
Yeah.
Like
I think he
just
really gets it.
yeah, because of inexperience, because he doesn't know what a $30,000 horse is.
Or because he thinks that much of himself. And I really do feel he thinks that much of himself.
Oh, for sure.
That's what those horses are worth because he touched them.
Good God. I fear for any woman he's ever laid hands on.
Yeah, right. Emily, I don't think he's still going to Seattle, but I could be wrong. He changes it so many times. He is in Montana right now. And let's see. Yeah, anyone with 60,000 for horses are looking for high level competition horses. They are not looking for an investment, right? When you put that much money into a horse or to any animal, or I mean, think about it. Any kind of investment, you're hoping to get some sort of monetary gain back from it. And anybody that has money knows this. Anybody that's in horses knows this.
As somebody who deals in that high-end horse market, like it's not always monetary gain you're looking to get back out. There are several reasons that you'll buy a horse for that price, right? Like if you're heavy into showing, you will go spend 60 grand on a single horse to go show and win majors and, you know, just do well in the show circuit because you enjoy it, not because you're looking to get that 60 grand back. Or you might go spend 60 grand on a broodmare that won a bunch of money, you know, and you can sell the babies. Like,
but again, that's
there are several reasons.
Gain.
But those horses haven't accomplished shit. They never will. Like, I love them to death. They're sweethearts. But they're not going to go out there and be something somebody can show and do well on. Or for an enjoyable horse to go trail ride, yeah, but you're not paying 60 grand or 30 grand for one of those.
People should just start messaging him like random, really high amounts, like 200,000, 300,000. Like, shit, while we're here, we may as well. Like, how about my next unborn child?
God.
Like, you touched them, Cyril, so they're worth so much.
I do think it seems to be pretty obvious he's not getting those land offers he was wanting.
Oh man. Do you guys remember, I think I mentioned it in a different live. I don't know if everybody heard it, but you guys hear about that guy that got divorced and he had just bought a bunch of land and his wife cheated on him, and so he gave her like a 1 square foot of the land, like that was hers.
Please tell me it was like in the middle, so she had to go through his to get to it.
Like landlocked. Would it even matter? Like just 1 foot.
Freaking. That's why I will not get married without a prenup.
Ooh, attorney here, you can make it off or that he accepts as an enforceable question for you. If he says it and says it's upon a PPE and then the PPE is not, he doesn't pass, that would cancel the contract, correct?
Yeah, that's something I'm interested in too, because typically in my experience with a PPE, if the buyer deems that it's not something they're willing to accept, contract's null.
You guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna be on pause, but only because I got a really good text message I gotta look at, Wes.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah, because the thing people sometimes don't realize about a PPE is it's not a pass-fail. It's like your vet is doing an exploratory mission to find everything they can wrong with the horse. And if it's something you as a buyer are not comfortable with, then you can say, no, I'm out of this deal.
Oh yeah, he's definitely not being forthcoming with those horses. And I mean, to be honest with you, if you're going to pay $60,000 for these horses and you know these horses, do you even need a PPE? Like, you already know what's going on with them. Like, you know this is a commitment to be veterinarians, like, at the vet clinic for life.
Yeah, and our information, like, I don't think he's requiring an NDA to get a PPE based on what I've seen.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, he's getting the PPE not contingent on a signed contract of intent to purchase or anything. He's doing it the way I would do it. Always get a PPE before you sign a damn thing.
No, he's in Montana. Yeah, so Butch just made a good point here. So a lot of people are asking about, and they have been asking me for a while now about PPE, if he's going to pass or fail. The thing is, what a vet's job is to do on a PPE is to gather data. So they'll give you all the data that you're paying for, and then you choose as the buyer whether or not you want to pass or fail. Like if you know, if this horse comes in and has one eye removed and the vet's going to say, hey, you know, he's got an eye removed. Okay, continue on. So you're the one who ultimately passes or fails this horse. And my veterinarian here has told me he's not allowed to actually legally tell you that this horse failed because he doesn't know what you're using it for.
Yeah, I always want a vet who goes into it trying like hell to like find every possible issue and make me want to fail a horse. Because
I want to know
that, yeah, I want to know every single possible thing. And if a vet's goal is to make it to where I want to fail a horse, I know they've done their due diligence and have found every possible problem.
Yeah. And the thing is that you get to then choose, you know, so if it's basically just like a home inspector, exactly. So the inspector comes in and tells you, hey, you know what, this is what I found. There's a crack in the foundation or there's a leak here, but you still ultimately choose whether or not you want to buy that house.
Yeah. And like there are things like as a trainer, there are things that I don't necessarily mind coming up in a PPE. Like hawkware, don't mind that much if it's maintainable, you know?
Red Rovers, could buyer pay for their own PPE? I would, first of all, I think he's going to make you pay for your own PPE because I don't think he's going to be paying for them.
But also buyer should always pay for PPE anyway.
And also you should be choosing your own vet. You should not be letting him choose a vet for you. That's a big thing because there's no way to know whether...
There's no impartiality.
Yeah, you want to make sure that your vet is working for you, not working for him.
Yeah. And if anybody ever says, hey, let's use a impartial vet that neither of us know, then you damn sure better be the one as the buyer to make that appointment.
To pick the one. So in all reality, any vet in the area that he doesn't know, you could be the next town over or whatever. But if he's very specific about, hey, I want to use this vet, why?
Yeah.
Isn't that good? Is that vet working for you? You know, that's where it starts getting a little bit iffy.
And Jay Miley, I don't care if it's a boarded equine surgeon. A good vet's a good vet, and a PPE doesn't require a surgeon.
Hungry horses are compliant. That is very true. But I can't tell you how many starved horses I've gotten in that after they got nice and fat again, turned into completely different horses. Yeah, where he's at right now, but the people that he's with might know those vets and might have very close relationships with those vets. So again, pick your vet.
Yep. And if you have the ability to, pick a vet that you personally trust to do PPE.
Correct.
Like I've got a vet that I really love here, and I mean he's the only vet in the county, but he's phenomenal. And if I had a horse in San Antonio I was looking at, I would pay for him to drive up there and do PPE.
I saw that 615. Sorry, I just got a text and she's on the live. Let's see, we already heard what now? Yeah, we did hear that this is from one of the original, I think from the barn owner that had him, and
it's from one of the boarders.
Yeah, there you go. It was one of the boarders that was in at the same place that he was boarding at, and
started a fight with her horse.
Yeah, and he's actually kind of a spicy horse. Yeah, one of the.
I believe she said a dick.
Yeah, that's what her actual words is, that he was a real dick, that he was real spicy. He would charge the other horses. So the fact that he's completely different now experience will also, I'll play devil's advocate. Yes, Falcon, a horse that's been riding for a long time and now has partners and maybe only one, he might be missing the whole herd dynamic, but I do think that he's more on the spicy side. I personally love spicy horses. I have a bunch of them. As far as the cost of a PPE is going to change drastically depending on, first of all of the things that you want done. In this case, I would be having RADs done, which x-rays. I'd be having blood tests done. I'd be checking for, and then when I say x-rays, I mean as many x-rays as you can, ultrasound of the SI joint on Falcon, Yeah, they can be anywhere from, you want them being trotted out. You want the whole shebang for a $60,000 pair of
I've
horses.
I've had a customer spend 5 grand on a PPE before, no issue. And I mean that's a bunch of X-rays at $75 an X-rays with the vet charged.
I'll be honest,
Like,
flexions, I'm not a big fan of flexions, you guys. I feel like they can make a lot of horses that aren't really lame look lame. I guess it would depend on how far out you trotted them after you did that. But I mean, I'm not a huge fan of flexions. But in this case, we already know that they're going to be lame before those flexions.
so I'll tell you where I do like flexions a lot, right? I like flexions in that if there is an issue, that issue is very likely going to show up in a flexion.
Yeah.
So if you flex the hind right and they're way off, and then you flex the hind left and they're not off at all, we're X-raying the right for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it could just, I guess, pinpoint where you should be looking a little bit more. But Pete's Hawk, I don't even know if you would be able to, I don't know if they would even flex it. You can clearly see it's the size of a baseball.
So I'll bet you they give him Dormo and then they flex him.
That's good to know, Basic. I did not know that. Oh, we know he has Butte. He was given Butte at the vet.
Yeah. But he wasn't lame. That's my favorite thing ever.
What?
He wasn't lame, but he got Butte.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's not lame, according to one person. No, I didn't see any lameness, but we did give Pete Butte right away. And I was like,
Just for the hell of it.
why would you give him Butte if he's not lame? And he'd already said that he was lame anyways because of a stone bruise.
Even though hoof tester showed no tenderness.
Yeah, Butte is basically Tylenol. Yeah. Yes, too much Butte too much of any medicine is bad. Well, but ulcers is bad for their livers.
If you give a bunch of Butte for a long time, you have some liver and kidney crap pop up.
Basic, you might actually know a little bit more about this than you too, Wes, because again, I don't know anything about injections. I've never injected a horse, never needed to inject a horse. If he got injections that day, they will know, but if he had injections done, would that possibly help him during the PPE somewhere?
It could. Depending on the severity of the lameness without, yeah, it definitely could. Because what they're doing with injections with HA, they're essentially replacing synovial fluid and putting a corticosteroid in there to reduce swelling.
Oh, it makes them
so, like, yeah, it'll show in radiographs, exactly. But they're basically
but if they just do a basic, they might not see it.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't X-ray, it might pass up on it. But depending on the severity of the lameness, which I think there's a chance even with injections, it'll still show up, even without radios. But it's one of those things like
see my eyelash? Watch.
People get the same injections. Your blush is on your cup. Yeah, Rusty's absolutely right. You'll still see the arthritis. But, I mean, you're essentially just refilling the synovial capsule with fluid and putting a painkiller in there.
Yeah, I don't know anything about injections. That's one thing I have not had to ever do it yet.
It'll happen. And people have a big problem with injections, but honestly, if they need it, it's the best for the horse.
It'll end up being Bravo. Watch.
It probably, well, Bravo, how old is he? 8?
On small little feet.
He's 8 and he hadn't been ridden a whole lot, but there's a chance by the time he's 15 or so.
And he's a damn bucker.
Which is fucking crazy.
And it wasn't the rider because Malia is a badass rider.
Never once.
He saw a pile inside the middle of the arena, and she was actually, she was just walking him, and then he asked him to go into a trot, and from trot he was like boom, 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 and I was like, whoa! I've never seen this. This is the first time I've seen it.
Wow. Yeah. So Rusty just said Crackers got her first ones at 6. That's pretty typical of show horses, though.
Yeah.
Like if they're being ridden, I mean, not even necessarily hard. But if they're being ridden consistently and doing something athletic, like it does typically warrant getting those hocks looked at.
Quietly. Mama, what?
Yeah, kissing spine sucks.
Okay. Okay, go get something.
Chelsea, we're not sure where he might resurface, but we're keeping tabs.
No, he wasn't bucking. Bucking can be from ill-fitting saddle or horse riding, but
100%.
is
How
that
would you
why
like it
he
if somebody
was?
was
No, we had
pinching your
good stuff.
shoulders and you're trying to walk?
He'd actually not been ridden in about a week, and he was in a bareback pad. No, he wasn't. He was actually in his saddle. He was in his old saddle, and I know that fits him. I know what to get you. Sorry, my daughter. She's
One of the things too, like people talk about injections in reiners and cutters and cow horses. Like we inject them, but it's not like there are other disciplines that get injected quite a bit more, and it's all the stuff with higher impact.
Hold on. Let me get my daughter a Nutty Buddy. There you go. I know. I knew when you heard that you're gonna say it.
Krusty, where are you trying to find a hotel? See, and Nancy, Fuse Talks, I am a fan of Fuse Talks. I'll be honest with you.
You're a fan
The
of
hot
Fuse Talks?
fuses, yes.
¿Por qué?
Because Fuse Talks mean less soundness issues typically.
Yeah.
That's not a joint that really flexes a whole lot, so if it fuses, you typically don't have to, you don't deal with arthritis as much.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have draft horses, so I'm sure I will be dealing with arthritis at some point, especially the 19 hand.
That's a lot of weight, but they got big bone too. I'm curious
he's
to see
got
how much different it
size
is.
7 foot. A size
Compared
7.
to Bravo, what was Bravo? Was he an odd or a double odd? I think he was an odd.
Well, but he might have actually been a 1, but your farrier fit they never banged out the shoe at all. There was not one hammer mark on it. They fit his foot to the shoe.
I watched him do it. No,
There was not one mark on it, but
I watched him hammer out that shoe.
Did you?
I promise you
There
that.
wasn't
I
one
did.
mark on it.
He forged it. He forged it and hammered it. He didn't cold hammer it, and so it doesn't pick up those marks as easy. And he uses a brass hammer too.
Oh, gotcha. But yeah, we ended up doing like the fire on his foot and all that good shit. And,
Hot shoot him, yeah. That's what I do for my sliders.
But he really needed his. Sorry, I'm gonna go outside, you guys. He really needed what I picked him up. Okay, you guys are gonna see me go in the dark for real quick, but I'll be here. Just gonna have to listen to Wes talk.
I was born a poor black child.
My mare has the most itty bitty feet in the entire world. She doesn't have shoes, so she wears scoot boots when we go out into the rocky areas, and she's a double aught slims.
What is this? Huh?
I'm in the dark, but I'm still here.
Hold on, I'm gonna jump off for a second. I need to look at a message.
Okay. Oh, bottle Kaz, remove that, please. You guys please don't tell anything that's going on. If you know something that's coming up, please don't put it into the lives or into comments, because he does see these things. And if you know it, we likely already know it, but if we don't, just message us, but don't put it into the live streams, etc. Because here comes Wes. Because when you do, likely he's going to see it too. And we don't want him knowing that we know what we know or what we don't know, if that makes sense.
Or what we theorize.
Mm-hmm. So if you have information, just send it to us in a private message. Please don't put it into, it's okay. Just don't put it into yeah, I see that. Yeah, with my scoots, I have what is that little strap that goes in the back that goes up underneath of their hoof? It protects the back. I have all the little extra dinghies, all the extra stuff that goes with the scoot boots.
What the hell is a scoot boot? Is that just like a trail boot?
Yeah, but they're the best. Yeah, the gaiters. There you go. Thank you, Lisa. I've got the gaiters, I've got the mud straps, I've got the whole shebang when it comes to them. And I have them for every horse except for my 2 drafts. Yeah, the gaiters, and that helps. But you need to make sure that they fit right. If they're hurting your horse, they likely don't fit right. It is a horse crock. That's exactly what
God,
it is. It's a horse crock.
your horse must look like a douche wearing them.
No, I have
Crocs are
colors for
awful.
mine.
Crocs should be illegal.
Not for your horses.
Hey, the stinking green screen's not working right. It's pissing me off.
They're cute, but they also make it to where my horse's hooves don't get all chipped up.
Trying to show off the study boy here.
Without having to put my put shoes on them, because in the field we have sand. They're totally fine. They don't have to. Yeah, in the summertime, my horse's hooves are so hard because they go in the water and they come out and it dries, and they go back into the water and it dries, and so the farrier's like, man, your guys' horses wear my tools out. We're talking about scoot boots. I personally love them for going on to long trail rides.
What the crap? How do I change?
Yeah, my
so
Cornic has
annoying.
the best feet, but I still put them on her just to protect in case. But she's just a really well-made little mare anyways. Yep, scoot boots.
That little 13-hand thing.
I know, she's tiny, but man, she's the best. I was riding her around out in the arena with just a neck rope yesterday, and I was like, oh, she's back. She had her baby. She became a witch.
But she wanted that baby so bad.
Well, now she don't care. And, yeah, oh.
You know where I'm going with that.
I know exactly where you're going with that.
But you got it.
Second. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. My psychic senses are saying.
There we go. It's Clover.
Aww.
I love that mare.
Marissa, are you able to come in now or what? My psychic senses say that Marissa might have just entered the chat.
No. However did you psychically guess that? Your pet psychic senses.
Sorry, I'm not going to be an asshole.
Are you sure it's not because you saw Marissa in the chat?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. This was definitely my psychic senses.
That cracked me the hell up. I'm not going to lie. Like 20 minutes after.
Just guessing here, but Marissa, are you heading to Florida?
If you're right, this is going to be amazing.
And I'm just going to say, Rusty, I have a feeling you're going to find a hotel. Just saying.
Rusty, where are you looking for a hotel?
Where are you looking for a hotel?
Oh, God. She's working. There's no, like, Howard Johnson's. Is that still a thing?
Oh, 400 plus horses.
That's a lot of horses.
I got lucky. My boys will let me pick their beans.
I get lucky that I have a good vet that'll do it for me. I can bill it to customers.
Dude, I thought, I felt like a rookie when I found out that mares get beans too. I was like, no, they don't. I knew they got the stigma all the time. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I would notice if something changed on their dongs. That's like hang out with the wang out every day with these boys.
Freaking on Facebook with their cocks swinging around.
We can't even get pictures of them without it. I have to edit that out. On every photo that I want to post, I have to like edit out their dicks.
They are proud.
All the time. They just stand there with them flopping in the wind.
See, Rusty, that's exactly why I pay my vet to do it.
It's an odor. I wonder, man. Basically,
you need to get one of those
able to look.
Cats. There's cancer cats that smell your horse cocks and find cancer.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
She's clawing at it. It's cancerous. Pre-cancers.
I wonder, Basic, I wish you could look at Pete. Because of the smell and what that girl was saying. I'm just wondering if it was just smegma that was on him and she was like, oh, he's got mold.
Dude, he might have like a freaking 5 pound stone of a bean hiding up in there.
But yeah, with Barbie, I was like, I did not know that mares get beans as well. And
Well, didn't Sage
picked it
pick
out.
one out while I was there?
Yeah, Jen didn't pick one out because there was none there. She was like, your mare's really clean, actually. And so was my boys. The only one that had a bean actually was Bravo.
The Appy, wasn't it? Oh, was it Bravo? I thought it was the
Bravo.
Appy. That's right, because I went and tied Bravo to the fence while he was still half-assed sedated.
And she pulled it out, and I was like, oh, shit. But she's a vet. She was a vet tech for many, many, many years. And that's who I have my barn owner is. And she's so good with the horses. And she's an equine nutritionalist. So I love her
So
being my
what
barn
else
owner.
can we say about Cosplay Cowboy? Oh, by the way, I think I'm gonna forego the rap for a minute because my voice is half dead. It'll happen, just probably not until the end of the week at the latest or at the earliest. But D-Bar had a very good suggestion.
What?
You know Glenn Campbell's Rhinestone Cowboy?
Yes.
Like a cosplay cowboy.
Oh my God. They write themselves.
Riding out in the mountains with no fucking clue where to go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my voice. I'm gonna have to
We
wait a
gotta
couple days
find out
to
what
do
he
that too.
drinks.
Do what?
We gotta figure out what he drinks. Probably just beer, huh? I think he's always
Bro,
drinking
he
beer.
posted a whole ass picture on Facebook of him just trying to chug a fifth of Jack.
There you go, with a bottle of Jack. Oh my God. You gotta write one.
I'm planning on it. I'll
He's
probably
already
write it
written
in the
many
next couple of days.
verses of my Gaston song.
I think I accidentally wrote the whole song, like just in
different time
random
periods?
text, like throughout the last 3 weeks.
All right, I'm going back into the light. You guys will see me in just a second. I don't know if you give a shit, but
I'm going to lay down on my pillow. I don't like this. I have like 5 chins.
there might. You see my shirt?
All right,
My
John,
son
you're
goes,
rotten.
oh, Mom. And I was like, it's the name of a band.
Yeah, like you
It's
can't be
the
wearing
name
stuff
of
that
my
says,
band.
you can't have stuff that says pistols on it. Come on.
It's Texas.
But yeah, I guess we really don't have much else to say right now. We just
Yeah, it's hard because we can tell you guys things afterwards, but then it's like I'm not trying to just get views and content out there, but I do want to tell you guys at least like what's going on because I know you guys care as much as we do, but there's just so much. Oh, I can tell you guys one thing. So there's been like for the last 3 years since before COVID hit, because of what I do, there is a producer that has been trying so hard to get like a show doing for what I do. And I personally didn't want to do the show because I don't
think the
want any more
phone is
business.
pounding you.
However, he mentioned, he randomly messaged me the other day and was like, hey, sorry I've been out of the loop. And I was like, oh no, you're all good. He's like, my mom died. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. He's like, but we have to work together. So I'm coming out to see you. And I was like, you know what? Have you ever seen Don't F with Cats? And he goes, no, what is it? And so I was like, go on Netflix and watch it. And I kind of told him a little bit what was going on, just kind of a little tiny synopsis of it. And he goes, highly interested. So we should be going on, you should be on Dirty Jobs. So I would love nothing more, because I don't want any more business of what I already have. Like, I didn't want a show to go on for my business. 'Cause I like having time for my kids and horses. But if he wants to do a show on how the entire country came together to hold somebody accountable for his actions, I'm down. Me and Wes live about, how far do you live from Austin, Wes? Are you like 2 hours?
Hour 45 probably, depending on what part of Austin.
Yeah, I'm about an hour out of Austin. Would be really cool if, you know, we just ran into him at one point. I'm sure we will eventually.
It wouldn't be hard.
I know Austin's really, I don't know, Austin's big, but it's not that big.
Yeah, plus
Yeah,
other
you should take
reasons.
a road trip anyway. Well, I remember who it was. Someone today, when I told them about the show thing, they're like, what would be the best thing ever is if at the very end, the very last bit of the show, we all went, your poor horse, we saved your poor horsies.
Fucking bleeding heart convention.
Yeah. Yeah, we should have a, a bleeding heart convention.
Meet up yearly. Tassie can have photo ops.
They better have some good filters.
Same.
I'm getting old.
You said it that time, not me. Y'all can't crucify me for things Tassie said.
Oh, Wicked Witch of the West, how's it going with your property? Are you guys back into litigation again? This poor girl. She's been like fighting.
Yeah, I got all
neighbor.
caught up on that, and that is wild.
Isn't that crazy? They're like trying to take over her land. Like it's her land that she purchased, and they feel entitled to her land.
We have similar things happen down here from time to time.
I'd be putting a big ass fence. Put up a wall.
Hey, are you going to film the show on GoPros?
Oh my God, imagine.
You know what? This is a gag.
I didn't know. Sorry, Marissa. Hold on. Guess.
As a gag, we should all just start wearing GoPros in every video we ever make from here on out.
Marissa's face?
I don't know. Hey. Let's see if I can get it to work.
I like we haven't seen Marissa's face in so long. Yes, Jen is the one that she has the
Hey.
sold with her property.
Hey.
And now the whole county thinks that they're entitled to go onto her property.
I've been following her from like the beginning
Same.
for like months. And I remember when I first saw that and she was like, the whole thing was, oh, well, the last owners let everybody do it. And it's like, that's great for them. They don't own it anymore. They sold it to her. She's the owner now.
That's like if
I'm petty as fuck, so I would go and get a tent and start camping out on those people's front lawns.
Literally.
But here's the thing. Like if I sold
public property, right? No,
when I inherit
exactly.
When I inherit this place, there's an easement going through a front pasture that we don't own to get into the ranch. Like if I sell it, the new owner doesn't necessarily get that easement.
Unless
it's the same thing.
Unless it's sold with the easement.
It has to be yes, which would never happen because I'm never going to sell it. But like that's the thing. Like it doesn't just because
Get away from the hotel so don't bother people.
Just because somebody gave you permission 50 years ago, like doesn't mean the new owner has to.
Yeah.
Stupid.
That's not how things work.
That's like selling a car and being like, by the way, you can only drive it on these roads.
Or like, you can buy this horse, but you can't tell anybody anything about it afterwards.
Yeah, you have to sign an NDA.
Yeah. My husband, so he's been hearing a lot about this since we've been on the road for 5 days together. And I've like, on the days that I drive, I tell him to read the messages between us. I'm like, babe, I need you to read this for me. And his opinions, for one, he was like, for one, whatever NDA, if he even has one, he's like he doesn't even think he has one. He thinks it's just like a bullshit thing.
On NDA.
And just for literally like rocket lawyer, some shit. My husband, by the way, was a paralegal in the Army for like 10 years. So he knows a little bit about this kind of stuff. And he said, first of all, he probably doesn't even have an NDA for real. Second of all, any NDA he has, unless he pays a lawyer a lot of money to draft a really, really, really specific one,
it's not even
going to be enforceable.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be enforceable. You know, so Cyril, if you're listening to this, like,
and there's a lot of, 4 or 5 grand.
Yeah, there's loopholes. There's
so many loopholes.
Things. And, you know, like if anybody, and like you guys talked about this earlier, but like anybody who has experience buying horses, you never ever let the seller choose the vet for PPE. No. Like that's just like buying horses 101. And
And I think he feels safe because he's in a town that he is not from, right? But he's in a town with somebody that is a horse person. So it's very plausible that that person does.
Horse
Literally.
person.
Yeah, that they do have some sort of thing. But yeah, he can't even feed his horses. But you know what? His dad might have a good lawyer. So that's something to think about too.
But
Very
would his
true.
dad's lawyer know how to draft a specific enough NDA for this situation that, for
I have
horses?
contract lawyers that they would just talk to somebody else that knows that
But
specific.
here's what I think what Marissa's getting at is like if you're going to court over an equine related affair, you should have somebody who specializes in equine law.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like if the NDA is not specific enough and it's based on his dad's produce business lawyer who has experience in that, it may not hit all the points. Like
Yeah.
it's very reasonable. That's like my lawyer's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But
He
he will
also-
still default to somebody who specializes in a different field if he needs to.
Stacey,
Yeah, he
you know how we can avoid an NDA? I want to tell him, but I already know one way in my head that I've already told them before. And there's no way that he could stop. There's one way is just leave the PPE out. Oops, somebody walked by it and saw it.
Yeah. Well, also too, my husband even said even if he had an NDA signed and whoever signed it broke it and they wanted and like he tried to sue them, he would have, just like with any type of like defamation or libel or anything, he would have to prove damages. He would have to prove like all of this stuff. And then at the end of the day, the judge is like, especially because again, you need to get a judge who maybe understands the course stuff and they're going to look at us and be like, why? I don't care. So somebody found out that your horse was lame. Like, why, how does that hurt you? Right? Like,
Yeah.
so if he did get all the way in front of a judge and all the way, and even if like wild thing he won, it wouldn't even be that much money he would win. Like it was one of those things where it would cost just as much, if not more, to like go through the lawsuit than it would for him to even like,
Well,
it
and
wouldn't be worth it. It wouldn't be
on top
worth
of
it
that,
financially.
you know how hard it would be to prove damages were caused by spilling the NDA rather than all of the stuff in the last 4 months?
Yeah, from a guy that can't even afford beer. Like, we
Like-
didn't hurt your monetary, no one hurt your
Yeah.
business.
You had no job. You earned the ire of all of the internet. Like,
Yeah.
try proving that we are the problem.
Yeah.
Well, especially because half of the things that we would use to show that like we were doing this on behalf of the horse's welfare is footage he put out himself for a long time. It was
Not even
film
half.
footage.
At least 90%.
Yeah. And then the footage that was captured by just random people were all the times that he was in public. So literally nothing that is out there that we have been like reporting on and giving our opinions on and valuations on, anything that we did not obtain in every legal sense, you know, that he put out himself. So you have to think about it from that way too. Like we said this from the beginning, right? He made himself a public figure. He said, I'm doing this big thing. Come follow me on social media. You can't sit there and say, oh, but you guys have to be nice to me. You're not allowed to say anything mean about me.
And he can't accuse us of libel or anything like that. No kinds of slander or libel suit because, like, first of all, Sullivan versus New York Times set a precedent that as long as you believe something to be fact, you are welcome to commentate on it. Like, you do not get to, like, if I knew I was lying about something, sue me. But you got to prove the damages too.
That's what most people don't understand about the difference between like what slander is. Slander is only if it is an outright lie and it is an intentional
You have
lie.
to know that you have to prove malicious intent on a slander or libel code.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everything that we have put out there is based on our experience with equines.
Well, and again, to Marissa's point, it's
And do my
in
hair
large
really quick.
part been his footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff he's putting on himself.
And let's be honest, just like Brianna just said inside the chat, it can all also be backed up by veterinarians.
I feel like I should be fixing my hair too now, guys. Everybody else is.
My hair's been in the same bun for like 6 hours and it got all floppy and droopy, so I had to
I just
fix
can't
it.
stand this stuff. I can never get up in the back.
Is that your baby hairs from
Oh
your
my
hair?
God.
And
Same,
then
girl.
grow.
Same.
Me too.
Same.
Right there.
I'm getting cold. Hold on. I'm going to step away for a
I'm
second.
like, I was getting cold in my hotel room. That's half the reason I was like, I'm going to go outside and jump in because our room is chilly. Chilly, chilly. It's kind of like nice and humid, but out here, that might sound crazy, but California
What?
is dry. California is so dry.
Oh man, I went to California, in July,
Yeah.
and when I landed in California, I was like, oh, Burbank, oh, it feels so good. It was like 85 degrees. Here it's been like 106. My barn owner has a filly about 3 months old that's kind of feral. And so we went out into she's got misters out there right now. And I'm like, I'm just going to go sit with your baby because she needs it. Right? But it was really good. It was like 15 degrees cooler in the misters.
No, I don't mind the humidity, honestly. What are you wearing, Wes?
Are you in San Antonio?
No, I'm in Louisiana.
No, Kimberly.
Oh.
Saying San Antonio has been crazy, and that's where I'm at. It's been
try
crazy.
an hour south. It was 112 today.
Sorry I couldn't stop to see you guys, by the way.
And
Yeah,
to
what
answer
was
your
that?
question,
So
this is my meme.
Mama, please
My
go get them.
My kids are traveling amazingly, but this is still a very rough trip on them and my cats. You know what my husband and I did not factor in at all is the fact that when we're like driving, we can't leave our car ever. One of us has to stay with the car because our cats are in the car. It is just ridiculously hot. So close the car up for 5 seconds. If the temperature side's going to bake them.
Yeah.
And so one of us constantly has to stay with the car. The only time we can leave, like the only time the cats are good and we can like maybe go do something is when we get to our hotels. We can leave the cats in the hotel room. And I didn't even think about it. I was like, we're going to be able to stop and have lunch and like go out to breakfast. No, not once. Never. Because it was like the cats will die or we're going to leave the car running and the windows down and everything's going to get stolen. So, stolen stuff and cats? Dead cats? No, we just have with the AC on at all times. It's literally been so hot as we've been driving. We've stopped at gas stations for like 15 minutes, and my van cannot stay cool. It does not go to like regular temperature until we start driving again. Otherwise, it goes up.
Well, I'm sure Florida will be cooler.
It will.
Why did I have a little boy? Oof.
My mom asks that all the time also.
No. You stay inside, ma'am. Just go sit with your iPad on the other thing. Go on.
Also, we had to haul ass because my stuff with the movers was supposed to get there anytime between July 20th, which was the day after they were supposed to pick it up, to August 11th. And I was really hoping it was going to be later into August, and it's arriving on Wednesday morning. So,
Oh, shoot.
yeah, like we're going to have to get a storage unit because we do not have a place to live yet.
Wait, so are you going to be able to get a horse when you get out there?
Eventually, the whole reason I'm moving is to start my barn, and I will at some point be renaming my TikTok to our barn name, and I'm gonna start, a barn. But
I'm so excited.
I'm very excited too. I'm probably not gonna buy like a personal horse for a while, but DGG 1111. What I don't remember what we can and can't say. You guys know that better
The
than
only
me.
update that we have right now is that is the whole. We've already posted it up on our pages as of right now. Anything else we can't really talk about yet.
We've been struggling with pet friendly shit too. Like hotels that charge, we'll ask them, "What's your pet fee?" And they'll say, "Oh, it's $100, but that's refundable after you leave, and then it's $25 for the night." Okay, cool. We show up. We have 2 cats. Now it's $50. The hotel we're staying at here, per pet. We have 1 cat. Don't tell anybody we have 2.
Duffel bag. If they start making noise in the lobby, say it's your vibrator.
So, while I have been tempted to do that, I never want to really, I'll always at least tell them about one of my animals, because if they find out that you have a pet afterwards, we just found out you had a pet fee and you didn't tell us is like triple that. It's usually 3 times whatever the pet fee would be. So I would rather just pay.
You should have already had a horse trailer. You should be living in it on the drive.
Oh my God, I would love that. And yeah, but no,
Horse trailer that you could, and then you could have put all your stuff in the back.
Yeah.
Go sleep in a Tractor Supply. They'll let your pets in.
You know, there's no one there from 10 to 7.
Oh, and I saw somebody ask earlier what I'm wearing. This is a mink.
I asked you that.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Are you going to go sip your champagne with your cigarette on the super long filter thingy?
Bitch, I'm not Cruella DeVille.
I'm just saying.
What in the world is in my yard? I swear Texas always has some random animal in my front yard.
Probably a chupacabra. Hey, Claire. I haven't seen you post a single video for like 2 weeks, and I like live for your unhinged shit.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get you in.
Only if you're wearing a mink, though. We have a dress code here now.
I'm sorry, Wes. I've been on vacation.
That's the prime time to post unhinged TikTok.
I know. I should have been making them, but I was running around like a headless chicken for a week instead.
That's fair.
And then I had to come home and I had to deep clean my house because my cat tore it to literal shreds for the week. He dug a hole in all 25 plants that I have in my house. Like, went through and dug a hole in every single one of them.
He said, "These are my litter boxes now."
And he didn't poop in them. He just dug holes in them.
Huh.
And then he shredded all of my mail. Like, all of it. And so now I have to call all of my utilities and ask them how much my bills were because he ripped them all up and I have no clue.
I wish I could. Do the frogs talk here, Wes?
Do what?
Do the frogs talk here?
Do the frogs talk here?
Yeah, there's something like. Hold on, I'm walking out to if I get eaten.
Oh, I'm by frogs. I have some
they say
croaking frogs
ribbit.
behind me.
But it's not like they're like, hey man, what's going on? Can I buy
There's something going like. I'm like, what the hell
Well, I
is
think
that?
that's me. I think
Probably
that
a
might be
rat.
because I have these.
No, it's in my yard.
That's probably
I
like
hear
a
that,
single rat.
actually.
No, it stopped now that I walked up to it, of course.
It's probably a
Probably a
rat.
mole.
It's one of those big Texas rats.
No, it's like all the way down by the road.
It's probably, you know what it is? It's a chupacabra. It's nothing to worry about.
No, I mean, we get like armadillos and stuff will walk across my yard. And I'm like, oh, little armadillo.
There are only two things I'm scared of at night in terms of like weird sounds. And one of them, or like if I hear strangers walking in the bush, because that's a real concern down here. And the other one is La Llorona. And we don't talk about that.
Flesh pedestrians? That sounds weird.
Wes, can I ask you about the coat situation here?
Yeah, what is going on with the coat?
So I put on a mink, okay?
Okay.
He said he was cold.
Okay.
It's a legit mink too. It was my grandmother's. I've got 3 of them.
You have minks.
Oh,
Mink are kittens. They're not my favorite.
that's why we make jackets out of them.
Okay, I gotta ask you guys, okay, this is totally off topic, but because it's like a huge topic right now and nobody seems to give 2 shits about it. Did you guys hear about the aliens over Russia today?
What? No.
No.
Okay, supposedly the aliens flew over the Russian nuclear place and took over it and pointed the nuke to the U.S. and then shut everything down. Like they put the
that
nuke
sounds like
and
something
everything.
Vladimir Putin would have said.
I swear to God, that was
It was aliens, guys, I swear.
I saw a video on like I've not been on TikTok hardly at all. Like I'll open it. The problem, I would do it while like my husband is driving, but my phone is the one that's hooked up to the Bluetooth, and there's like a delay. So I don't watch TikTok while we're driving, even though I wish I could. But I did watch a little bit last night, and I saw a video of like 3 flying saucers, and for 1 second I was like, that looks kind of legit. Oh my God. And then they had jets come in, but they like, I literally have lived
saw
around
that.
military bases for like 10 years, one of which being an Air Force base. And I was like, that's not what jets look like as they fly through the sky. Sorry.
Yeah, I lived by Edwards Air Force Base almost my entire life, and they're all talking about how all these aliens. I was like, my dad built the new side of the base. Like, I would know if there was aliens, if there was anyone. He's the one that built the underground bunkers at China Lake for bomb testing. Like, he's built a lot of things.
Texas made.
I don't know about this.
Wes, Horse Whisperer 19 said that you look like Macklemore, and I really just can't get that out of
Oh
my
my
head.
God.
Okay, let's get one thing straight. If I'm anybody out of that group, I am Ryan. What's his name? Ryan what's his face?
Yeah,
I don't
but
know,
Macklemore
the
loves his
coat
big
is
fur
really
coat.
giving Macklemore. It's really
Yes.
giving thrift shop from Macklemore right now.
No, I'm going more like Big Ryan.
I'm gonna pop some tags.
Hell, it's Ryan. Claire, is that your cat? Claire, is
I
that your
got that.
cat?
I got it. Texas made. I'm the only one who picked up on your joke.
What did
Wait,
you
what?
say, Wes?
Is that your cat I hear?
Yes.
That is the loudest. That is the tiniest, loudest cat I've ever heard.
Oh my goodness, it's so cute.
Itty bitty. What's the name?
His name is Otis because he has huge eyes and he looks like the pug from Milo and Otis.
Oh, that
Are
was
you
the
old
saddest
enough to
movie
have
ever.
seen that movie?
Seriously.
And then I'm getting an
Also,
orange
you
one.
got a
I have
kitten.
seen the movie.
You better name
And
that
I'm
one
getting-
Milo.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna name him. So it's Milo and Otis.
I want a fox and a hound. That was a better movie.
Oh.
That was
That is a
sad
better
too.
movie.
It's sadder though. I won't lie.
Yeah. That movie's sad.
I heard that Milo and Otis, they went through a lot of cats and dogs for that movie.
Yeah, no, that movie was
No,
littered with
really?
bodies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
They were like
Yeah.
Had
they
a
were
hard
just-
time trying.
they
That's
were
why
just-
they went with an orange cat and the pug, because they all almost look alike. They were
Yeah,
easy
right,
to find
no.
replicas of.
that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's like you know the scenes where they're like going down the river. That was like an actual creek, and they would lose cats down it.
Yep.
No, that's so sad.
Yeah, it was really sad. 'Cause my sister. Sorry, let's raise the bar. But that was like my little sister's favorite movie growing up.
I used
and
to
when I
love
found
that
out, I was
movie.
like, oh my god.
Yeah,
That
I
just
haven't been
made
able to.
that movie
I literally,
like 30
I used
times
to,
more sad.
I used to watch that movie maybe once every 2 or 3 years, just because it was like nostalgia and like whatever. And then I found that out, and I haven't been able to watch it since.
I'll
I'm
be
like, I
straight
was like
with
every
you.
single
Not able
scene.
to
I'm like,
watch it.
I'm watching.
I'm not a cat person, but that is depressing. as hell.
It's so sad.
Claire, I think your phone is doing that weird echo thing again.
It might be the cat. Hold on, let me move him.
See, I don't hear an echo.
It's like a static.
Oh, that's definitely the cat.
It
No,
might
no,
be
no,
the
it's-
cat.
It's actual static. We heard it last time.
Anubis, it might even be him. It might not even be
Hold
like
on, let me.
stands anymore, or it could be.
Did you get a
his
text or
team.
anything, Cassie?
No.
'Cause
Better now. I
believe it.
just muted and unmuted myself.
Yeah, I don't hear it now.
Okay.
I didn't hear it before.
Oh, nope, there it goes.
Oh, that's so weird. I wonder why it does that. Hold on. There might be hay in my speaker.
Oh, dude, I have that happen in my charger. I get alfalfa stuck in the charge port, and then my phone doesn't charge. It's such a pain.
Yeah, I ended up, Anubis, I ended up just, anytime that someone is obviously on C's side, I just immediately block them. Because there's so many new accounts that come up, and I know, and I even said sometimes like, oh, okay, hi, Matisse. And it's like, you know what, I'm not going to play the game. I'm just gonna block them.
Yeah. At this point, like we've played around with them enough. It's like I don't even want to bother and just block. You know.
The article that
Other
was
than-
written about him
That snap is
was
so
pretty
fun.
good, though. I thought.
Oh, the one that was posted today.
I thought that was a pretty decent article. Like, I don't like
was
that
so
it's
amazing.
still
Basic.
giving it attention, but I did like the way that they exited out of that article. I love
So
Yeah,
here's the thing
absolutely.
about that one.
Was
That one was
hovering,
a
and
lot
that's what
more-
clicked in.
That one was a lot more centrist, I think, but it still painted him in the light that he deserved
have it.
more than a positive
But they
light.
did it in a way that was not, like,
It was very unbiased.
yes. But at the same time, you could tell what their thoughts were. The way that they ended was because he put him through hell.
Yeah, and I
And so-
really liked that. I really liked that he thinks that they're worth 60 grand after openly admitting he put them through hell. I was like, that's a good send off.
Hey.
Hi, Brianna.
Hello.
Hi, Brianna.
Hi, guys.
My camera just like zoomed out. I wonder if it's because it got smaller.
It should be showing Brianna should be in now too.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, he's
showing
here.
me?
You gonna
Yeah.
come on video?
Well, okay, hang on.
Peer pressure.
Alright. We're getting dog
Hey,
Go.
come on, good story.
How's it going? I'm going off camera. I can't stand myself.
Cute.
My
I'm out here
mustache
like
is
barking frogs and
I just spent
That's
9 hours.
half a mustache.
this is 5 days of travel.
This
I
is
felt like
9
yesterday.
hours in the car. I don't have 5 days, but I have 9 hours.
Right.
Oh, and then Wes comes in with his
I
chrome
was
dome.
9 hours. We were about 9 hours today, and I wanted to push further, but my kids were just done. I was like, because we should be in Florida tomorrow, and I'm so excited. And I told my husband at one point, I was like, "Are both the littles fell asleep?" And my oldest was in the back playing his Switch, and I was like, "We were planning to start at this hotel at 6:30," and I was like, "Let's just see how long the littles stay asleep, and maybe we can push another hour. One more hour today, one less hour tomorrow. I can put my fucking feet in the sand in my
Right.
like,
Basic, have you still not found a hotel room?
Just do
Where's
what I do
Basic
at work.
going?
Sleep in the dark.
Like by the time you're
Michigan.
done looking, you may as well just come stay at my house.
I don't think I would use brass knuckles, honestly.
Basic, where are you going?
She's got like a 4-day trip going on.
Oh,
In
wow.
Michigan.
do you
She's
know
got
her
100
job?
horses.
She like and she said she has 100 horses in the next 4 days.
Holy cow.
I look so dark right now.
Basic, that's a lot of dicks.
That is a lot of dicks.
For a lesbian,
Sick of any
especially. What the heck? God, she probably touches more dick than us
A
straight
normal
women.
straight person does. Look at my dog right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave the dog alone in the car either. 5,000 plus a year. It's insane.
Good
That's
Lord, like,
insane.
And they're like dirty too.
Yeah, they're the
Yeah.
dirtiest they could be.
Not when she's done with them.
That's true. As my daughter, every time she brushes her teeth, she's always like, "Does it ding? Ding."
Oh,
That's
so
all I
cute.
can think of now.
My-
When she's
my
done,
daughter-
ding.
I'm very happy that my kids all like to brush their teeth, but my daughter especially, she'll be in the middle of the day, she'll go, "Mom, I think my teeth are dirty." And I go, and she goes, "Teeth dirty."
Yeah, my daughter likes to brush her
Okay.
teeth too.
Let's go brush your teeth then.
that's good. Teach them early.
Roadrunner, not yet. So we're gonna wait on the GoFundMe for the Falcon and Pete's recovery until we know where they go.
Yeah.
Because God forbid we lose track of them somehow. Someone's gonna have all of that money, and I personally don't feel comfortable holding on to that without knowing where they're going to be 100%.
I still
right?
have the money from my Etsy and my Venmo just sitting there waiting.
And that's the other
other
thing. Like,
thing-
all the stupid baseless accusations that came up last time we fundraised. Like,
Yeah.
fundraising.
And so I
We
just started paying for things myself. Like literally, I've been huh?
a lot of things. A lot of
Yeah,
random
tires,
Yeah,
all kinds of
tires,
crazy
wheels.
stuff. So I just ended up self-funding it because I was just like, you know what?
things. Freaking Cassie
It's a
Grantham's
double-edged sword, and I can afford it,
assistance over here.
But yeah,
Triple T.
it's been quite a bit.
Well, and the other thing too is that we don't want to make a GoFundMe, but we do want to set something up so that we can take donations to go to the right place, and we
Yeah.
want it all to
Yeah.
be above board.
Yeah.
Because like GoFundMe has a lot of really weird things with it that like
Yeah.
it won't allow you to take out the money before you get the goal and stuff. So,
Well,
like,
and
And
high
you have to reach
fees.
the goal in a set time.
Yeah, the
period.
fees are insane on GoFundMe too.
And I would just want
Yeah.
to make sure it all goes to them. So
Idea
again,
is
but we
to
don't know where
wait
they're going yet. So
maybe
it just depends.
until they get to a rescue, and then start like a
If they get to
a
a rescue.
donation with a rescue. is
That
what I
goes
would
straight to
think.
them, yeah, or to their veterinarians,
Exactly.
whichever one it is, to make sure that
Right.
they have like maybe money on their books.
Yeah.
But it just depends on I guess, where they end up, right? Where do we pull
Yeah.
them from? Where are they being taken to? Like, we just don't know that ending situation yet. So we're going to wait until that.
I think too, like, I think the thing that we all really have to keep in mind, as much as none of us want this to happen, we all have to keep in mind the very real possibility that he could sell these horses to somebody.
Yep.
For who knows. And then they'll be, unless it's somebody who's like super incognito and is really on our side and just like swoops in under the radar and buys these horses and then comes out and says, "Hey guys, I bought Falcon and Pete." You know, he might sell them and we'll never see them again.
Yeah, or
I've
he
been
might sell
struggling
them and
with that
there's a
today.
GoFundMe going or whatever, donations, and that person that just bought them for $60,000 turns around and says, "Okay, give me the money."
Yeah.
That's what it was for. That's what you advertised it as. And so
Yeah.
I just don't feel comfortable. I don't like it. I would much just wait and see where they are going and what is the veterinary care that they need. And if they're in it, they're gonna if they're seized. Then they're going to go to a vet or to a rescue.
If somebody buys them and publicly says, "Hey guys, I'm the one who bought these horses," like, I'll message them and say, "Hey, what's your Venmo? Let me send you this money I got for the stickers." Like, that's always in the plan. That's why the money's just sitting in my
The
Venmo.
only thing though
You know.
is that I really want to make sure that if we do that, they are using the money for vet care, for
Yeah.
feed.
Yeah, that's
maybe
like
Because it would be really
for the-
disappointing if some random person bought them and we give them all this money and then the next thing you know they go and use it to
If they
buy.
buy Pete and
something
Falcon,
else.
they're on their own, and it's because you just took it from maybe a rescue that could have brought money into and known that it was going there. But if you're buying these horses, you better know how to take care of them. You better be able to take care of them financially.
And the thing is, too, is if someone's dropping however much money that they're saying someone is offering right now,
Then you
they
have
don't
money
need
to
our
vet
help.
them.
Yeah, they don't need
Well,
our help.
Havanish, the people
Well,
who
here's
do
the
have
other thing.
60K lying around are not going to be buying those horses.
No,
Here's the other thing to
they're
think
not.
about too, though, guys. The other big part of that is like, if they're willing to pay $60,000 just to get those horses out of Cyril's hands, then they're rewarding him for his behavior. And like, why are we gonna reward them with help
Right.
for
Yeah.
rewarding his stupidity?
Well, at the end of the day, for me, it's just I want to make sure that the horses are okay and getting the vetting that they need. And if somebody can drop that amount of money on them, then they know what they're getting themselves into. It is what it is.
Yeah, if there is
We're
somebody out
willing
there.
to drop that kind of money because
Yeah.
like I personally would never in a million years spend 30K on either of those horses, let alone
No,
So we're
absolutely
like-
not.
have the money to jump on 60 grand on two crippled horses, and there's a guarantee they have the money to vet them.
If I'm paying $30,000 for a 20-year-old horse, it's gonna be like Secretariat's son.
or
Like,
No, it's gonna be
Yeah.
Secretary's daughter because you can't breed a son.
I would pay no.
Right,
I
exactly.
would say as far as like $30,000 20-year-old horses go, I've seen horses go for that are 20
Yep.
years old or 20 plus years old. You know what they are? They are retired Grand Prix jumpers.
Yes.
Who are retiring down to jumping 2.326, and they're the schoolmaster that the lesson program buys so they can have a step up horse for their kids who can't afford a horse yet. That is a $30,000 20-year-old
So here's-
horse.
Or like a super safe like rodeo horse, like a barrel horse that's
Whatever
in
the
its
equivalent
20s
is
Great
of
bloodline.
Western
for like a
Western
kid
world is.
If
step
I'm
on horse
dropping-
or something. But
If I'm dropping 30K on a single horse or 60K on a pair of horses, they eventually are going to have ovaries and papers and
Yes.
show records.
yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, that's a good point. Saying that they should be breedable, and
Yep.
Falcon and Pete are both gelding.
I'm not going
Well,
to
that's-
pay
I don't know.
30 grand
Was
for a
he calling
gelding horse
Falcon
to
a
be
mare
retired.
to that farrier?
Isn't that hilarious?
Do I?
I don't know. According to Serial, he's a mare.
And he's a beautiful one at that. He's
A
got
feel like
beautiful,
my kids feel
beautiful
like-
mare.
I honestly feel like he thinks that if they don't have balls, they're mares.
Maybe.
I think
I don't
so
think he
too.
understands the
I
concept
truly
of
do.
gelding.
Well, he didn't know what EIP
Because he
was.
only uses the term stallion or mare. Like, I have never in my life heard him use the term gelding. But I did hear him when he
That's-
first bought Falcon. He did say, like, oh, this beautiful stallion. And then he's calling him a mare.
If
Well,
that
and then he
is,
also said
if
this
there's
beautiful
any,
pink boy, so he knows he's male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I absolutely nothing about horses. If they would refer to any boy horse as a stallion.
Yeah.
Any boy horse is a stallion.
You know what? I wonder if he
Or
has.
they think stallions and studs are different.
Yeah, right.
Basic,
So-
I think Comfort Inns are pet friendly. I believe I've stayed there with my dogs before.
Some are,
So-
some aren't. We've been driving with our cats for 5 days, and one of the Comfort Inns we called early was not, and then we stayed in one that was. And this is the Comfort Inn that's pet friendly, and the one we looked at 2 nights ago was not.
Oh,
It
okay.
just depends on the hotel.
I wonder if half the stuff he's learned about horses has been from our pages and lives.
Oh my
I think
God.
so.
No.
Without
This
a
is-
doubt.
He is just like this trainer that I knew in Florida, and we were friends for a time, okay, this girl and I. And at one point I would stand with her, and I didn't even realize that I was doing this, right? But I would stand with her in lessons. I would just go out there to talk or whatever while she was teaching, and I would see something going down, and I would be like, oh, you should have her, blah, blah, blah. And I'd say something, and then she would tell them that. And then within a couple of months of me doing this, I realized, oh my God, I'm teaching her right now. And then I stopped. I was like, no. Because we were friends, but we were arm distance friends. And I was just kind of friendly with her because it made my life easier, And when I realized that she was literally learning things. But then also the difference, though, is that if you don't have the context, she would hear me say things to my own students, or I would say things for her to tell her students, but she wouldn't fully understand the why behind what I was saying. So I would then, later on, I would hear her repeat the things that I said in a way that made no sense for the situation, And I'd be like, no. And I'd want to step in and be like, hold on, no, that's But then I had to stop myself because
I was just giggling at her little.
A little finger pop up in the corner.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, I had to, so anything that he is learning, maybe he's learning 5% real stuff from us, but there's so much more that he's probably hearing and not even fully understanding or using out of context or not using correctly because he doesn't have the full breadth of knowledge that we do to be able to
right.
I don't
implement
think
it.
he wants to. I don't think he wants to learn. Straight up.
Probably not.
I do not think he
I
wants
bet
I
he doesn't touch a
guarantee
horse
he doesn't
after
want to
this.
learn.
Hey, Kevin.
I bet you he doesn't even touch or ride another horse for another 20 years after this.
Oh my God. No, I told that to my husband today. I was like, at the very least, the one thing we're going to get out of this is that Cyril Berteau is going to avoid the horse world like the plague after this.
Thank God.
Good.
Thank
That's a win.
the Lord. Yeah.
No,
That's
you
the
guys were
biggest
wrong.
win.
He's going to go back into jumping.
He's not welcome.
Can you imagine if he was a champion again?
Oh my gosh, a 2 times.
Champion
At the Rose Palace,
0.95.
Wes. He's going to go to the Rose Palace. To the schooling
When's the
shows.
last time they had a jumping show at the Rose Palace?
I'm so
Is the
motivated
Rose
now.
Palace even still open?
Yeah, my son competed there.
Really?
And his first
I didn't even know
competition.
they still had stuff there other than.
He
Well,
was
I
a
didn't even know they had
champion.
anything there anymore.
He was
He'll
a
go show
full-on
at the
champion.
George Strait Team Roping Classic.
If Cyril
Oh,
tries
you
to
have
getting their
your
ring
own
again,
Okay, you can
I
have it.
will
Most
get
people in
being
this
ready for
hotel don't hate
shows.
me.
I will go and do jump offs with this man. I do not care. He will not beat me. I do not care.
He couldn't beat you on foot, much less on a horse.
Oh, can we do a hobby horse
What
competition with Cyril?
I want to see somebody throw Cyril on a fancy finish,
Rusty.
some kind of finished horse, and then I want to see what happens. Without trained to the nines, I mean, anybody could get on him and ride him.
I would say
And this
trained.
is
I would say
walking
thorough.
straight, left, right,
I mean,
back.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's trained with leg and
He's
seat,
broke.
but he's
No,
broke.
but he's broke. And so I would love to see him be put on a finished rope horse or
No,
a finished barrel
no,
horse and be like,
no.
okay, go,
I
Cyril,
want to see
show
him
us
get
your
put
Wanna,
on
like-
a finished cow horse.
I want to reach my
because-
arm
Cow horse,
through
there
and
you go.
smack him off the horse.
Hey, he needs to be put on a cow horse and sent down the fence because the second he
Yes.
just The second he headed that cow, that horse wouldn't even have to start turning yet, and this dude would do a somersault off the side.
Oh, I would love to put him on like a finished like meter 30 jumper. Let's see how you do.
He's a
You're
he's
champion
champion
jumper though.
Marissa.
Jump on this one.
yeah.
Take him through the course.
Champion come. Yeah,
I think
exactly.
it's super funny because he was also like at the very beginning when he was looking for a horse, he was literally looking for a Mustang. A Mustang would have killed him by now. My
Oh, for
Mustang
sure.
would
Oh
have
my
killed him.
God.
They probably would have lasted a lot longer though.
I don't know how Falcon has not killed him yet.
He's
Well,
tired.
we also know that he beats them.
Well, yeah, so they're probably too scared to do anything.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta think at the end of the day, horses are still
Not really,
play
Lisa
animals.
Marie. Nothing that hasn't been posted.
Like
This is a
they may be a lot bigger, but at the end of the day, like we're a predator to them.
And
they're
they
gonna
are
This is a
run
great
from us
time to
And
talk
they
about
know.
learned helplessness. Learned helplessness is a phenomena that happens when an animal is being trained or something is happening to it and it gives up because there is no way out.
Yeah, that was
Were
my
you the
mare
one
before I
that-
got her.
Yeah.
Bree, were you the one that shared that thing on Facebook? And it was about learned helplessness, and it was like the one horse with like the kid hanging upside down off its stomach with the paint marks all over it, and then the other horse was like it had like a like happy place, and then there's like two people standing there, and one of them's like, "Wow, your horse is so broke," and then the other one's like, that horse is worth its weight in gold," and then the horse where the little girl's hanging off it just looks like so depressed. Like he's sitting there and he's just like, and then the
That was
caption
not
was
me,
like, "This
but-
is learned helplessness."
That was not me, but
That's
I would
something-
definitely share something like that.
He's in
That's
Montana,
something that you see a
anywhere
lot in
between
fields and
Stevensville
outside of that.
and Wisdom.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too is that like people who are trying to train horses, whether they're from the ground up or retrain or whatever, did anybody who was on the Horse Talk remember like a year and a half, 2 years ago when that trainer, it blew up really big on Horse Talk specifically, but she had got this horse in that she said was a client horse, and the owners said that they bought the horse as like a kid horse for their kids, and the horse was just like insane and would just buck really bad. And so her solution was to hobble the horse while she tacked it up. And I literally made a video on it, and I was like,
Did she
in
hobble
what
and then start
world-
throwing bags at it and shit?
She hobbled it and was throwing like a saddle pad on it, and the horse was like tied to the fence by
Yeah,
its
tied
chin.
to a channel, to a panel, right?
tied to a panel with like a 2-foot lead, and then hobbled in
I
its
don't remember
back
her
legs.
name. I know who you're
And
talking about.
I went back and forth with her a little bit because I was like,
Montana.
in what world do you think that taking away a horse's ability to move is going to make that horse like that horse is going to either become get learned helplessness or become a literal ticking time bomb that one day will explode to the point that it kills itself and whoever's on its back.
So,
Andrea
so I've
Tittle
got
or something like
something
that.
on
She's like
I was horrified.
I want to say her name is like
Ever.
Andrea Pittle or Tittle or something like that.
Yeah.
And
That's not that
she's a
moron
Clinton
on
Anderson
television,
like
is it?
fanatic.
Yeah.
I'm working on that. Because my show now, my 4-year-old, like 100%. I got her from Mississippi State, and the kids had stacked them out and not let them move their feet. Well, what happens in nature when a horse is feeling pressure and not moving their feet? They're like, oh, I should probably give up because it's easier to just go ahead and die.
Yeah.
They
It
either,
is
they either
your
give up,
speaker.
or every now and
Yeah.
then it might be a West.
That
Yeah.
was
Or they will
Yeah,
turn
let me
around
read-
and start fighting. Like, and I've seen, I haven't seen it personally, but I've heard stories of people hobbling horses that are spooky, that are flighty, and the horse will literally thrash to the point where they break and tear their ligaments because
See,
they're
and-
freaking out and
Or
they're not
rope
properly
burns.
trained in hobbles.
This
And I-
mare,
yeah,
when the
rope
when that
training
gold starting
is
class
like-
started her,
The best thing you could do for a horse, however, you do not take away a horse's leg when they are fighting to get away. Like,
no.
I
Yeah.
cannot, or like the people that hobble
Yeah, I have nothing against
the
proper
lower
hobbling.
bone to the
Hobbling
upper.
is fine. Yeah.
Like,
Well,
or when
and
people
this
like
red mare-
hobble the lower leg to the upper leg, like they put the hobbles on one leg and they hobble
And
the
flex
lower
it
leg
up.
to the upper
Yeah.
leg, and then they make them run on 3 legs, and it's
Yeah,
like,
that's fucked up.
Oh,
what's
no, I
the
hate
point of that? What is the point
You know
of
what
that?
popularized that was that old Robert Redford horse whisperer.
Mm-hmm.
No, you know where that actually comes from is Monty Roberts.
Yeah, it is Monty Roberts.
Yeah.
That's Monty
We
Roberts.
love Monty Roberts.
Monty
You know what's
Monty
funny is
Roberts.
when I first started like really being into horses when I was a teenager, my mom was so into Monty Roberts. And we went to one of his shows and one of his clinics. And holy crap. I mean, we were amazed back then, right? I didn't know anything about all this stuff. And then I found out years later that he was back there beating the shit out of the horses before they came out. And
That's the untold secret about him.
yeah, and I didn't, and when I found that out and there was like video of it, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. About the kid. He would
Watch the horses in the pasture because his dad beat the hell out of
deer.
him.
It was the deer. So he'd be out there with the deer in the pasture, and he started learning how to communicate with them to get them to face up and come to him.
Crock of shit.
Yeah, like all this bullshit. And really, he was beating the living hell out of those horses before they came into the arenas. And I was just like flabbergasted.
And he did a demo for the Queen of England one time, and he had them get the horse to him 3 days ahead of time.
Jamie, then leave. Leave, Jamie.
way.
What? Like, I don't understand. You come in here. I don't hope you're not watching these people.
Hey,
Get out of
it's
here
okay,
then.
it's
Swipe
okay.
away.
Here,
Bree,
I
it's
just
okay.
muted her. So I muted her so she has to still watch.
She's lonely, and Cyril is the only man that will give her attention, so just let her get it from him.
We do know that Cyril loves older women.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
want the attention from the guy who can't even
Well, it's
sit at the
because younger
table
women are
across
creeped out
the
by him.
table from people because he reeks so bad, go have him.
Yeah.
Have him. Free for all. Go get him.
It's because younger women are so creeped out by him.
Yeah. I mean, because we see through him. So the older women are like, oh, what a sweet young lad. Just following his dreams. And all of us are like, yeah, no, I don't think so.
Oh,
Yeah, the thing is-
comfort's still not.
Holy cow.
God, I'm surprised he doesn't love
We've
me.
been finding things like that though.
Have you been looking at Airbnb?
Oh, yeah.
Airbnb is
Thought
cheaper.
about that.
That's
So
what I
the
used on my whole
Airbnbs-
way out here.
Airbnbs are very hit or miss. I thought about that for me and my kids, but like the problem with Airbnbs, oh, big old bug. The problem with Airbnbs now is that you have to like basically clean the whole place yourself before you leave. Like the last 2 Airbnbs that I stayed in, I've had like, okay, you have to take out the trash, you have to wash the dishes, you have to put all the sheets on the pile in the bed, you have to paying a cleaning fee.
Yeah, if you're paying a cleaning fee, don't do any of
when
that.
they started doing that. I know it's somebody's like investment in home that I before they started all those rules, I was doing all of that anyways.
Yeah.
The only thing I wasn't doing was taking out the trash.
Yeah, but for us, it was just like I could pay the same amount for a hotel and not have to do any of that shit. The only thing I have to do is clean my cat's litter box.
Right.
I found a really cute spot in Nebraska, though.
Hey, Wes, go out and come back in. I think it's your speaker.
It's not me, right?
I hear it now.
That's fair. That's very, very fair.
I think it's Wes. Oh yeah, well, I don't ever do anything. And I don't do anything in Airbnbs except for there. Did it stop? Everybody talk.
Oh
I
yeah,
still
I think
do
it's
it.
Wes.
It's Wes. It's
I
gone.
wonder
Oh,
if he carries
I don't
his
hear it
phone
anymore,
around in
so
his
yeah, it
pocket.
has to be.
No, I did still just hear it.
Sounds like
I think
a
it's
purring
Claire.
cat.
Dang
Or
it.
It's a purring cat.
No. There was an
Maybe
actual.
it's both of them.
Yeah,
No,
maybe.
it's
Yeah,
like a little
it's- I
bit,
think-
like scritchy, like a like at.
It's
That
weird.
happens
It
every now
happens
and then.
like on rant. It's like when a different person jumps in, somebody else is does it.
Oh, maybe.
Well, there, I don't hear it anymore.
Oh
it
yeah,
was
maybe
really
it
bad
was
there
just
for
a
a
bad
second.
connection or something.
Yeah, it was really bad there for a second. It was getting really annoying. I have like a noise thing. My ADHD
Yeah.
has
Claire
like,
actually has a purring cat.
I do.
there it
There
goes.
is a purring cat.
A kitten.
yeah, no one has a microphone though, I don't think.
I'm using my AirPods, but I don't think it's me.
I also
Wait,
mute
what?
myself when I'm making noise.
There is.
I don't know. Either way, my phone's sleep just turned on, telling me to go to bed.
Yeah. 45.
Yep.
We're in the same time zone, Tessie.
We're all in the same time zone now, I think.
Not Brianna.
Not Brianna. Yeah,
Aw.
not to.
Brianna and I used to be in the same time zone. Now I'm in all.
I
your
still
time
have
zone.
light.
Is it really still light outside? That's
Yeah, hang on.
It is?
Wild.
It's been dark here forever.
Yeah.
Hey, can we real
The
quick?
sun's setting.
Can we
Well,
talk
because
about
you're also
how
by the coast.
real quick? Like, can we talk about how I dropped a single Friday and completely forgot I was dropping a single Friday? That's how focused I have been on this stuff. Who's fucking shit?
Oh my god, you guys are such.
You're just
such
doing this
assholes.
to get famous, Wes.
How are we all?
Yeah, Wes.
We're all such assholes, except for Brianna. Brianna's really nice.
No, she's an asshole too. Have you not seen the group chat?
Why aren't I in the group chat? What? There's a group chat,
You're busy.
guys?
Well, we don't. I
For
don't
a
think
while,
I'm friends
it
on
was just-
Facebook, am I?
Sorry, gotta
It
go.
was just.
I was like, bye.
It started with me and
Bye.
Marissa.
Yeah, it was just
I've
me
been
and
in it for
Brianna.
3 days.
And then we
And then I
added
added
Cassie.
Cassie.
And then added Wes like not even a week ago.
Add me now.
Are you on
Okay.
Facebook? Add me on Facebook.
I got
We're
you.
friends
I'll
on
add you.
Facebook.
All right,
Girls.
this
I
message
can add
and
you
I'll know
right
who you
now.
are on
Hang on.
Facebook.
Claire,
Okay.
give her a break. She's old. She forgets things.
I do. I can't even keep up with the dates in case you guys haven't noticed. I've been
Fair
doing
enough.
really good at it though.
My husband and I are so
If I
brain
can't
dead
get
from
there.
all this driving that we've been doing that literally like one of us will ask the other a question and then we'll answer and like I'll look at him and I'll be like, "Are you gonna answer me?" And he'll be like, "I just did." And I'm like, "Oh, can you just say it again, please?" And then we do the same thing back and forth. We literally got into like a fight today and we had to be like, "Okay, we had to take a break from each other." Be like,
Put your face
Is this now?
Mama.
And that's what happens when you've been married for 14 years.
I haven't gotten married.
I got married at 20.
I don't ever
Also-
want to get married. I will be okay with
Also-
my
Don't.
billions of
The
horses,
women I am-
dogs, and cats.
Just a married
Looking for a
lady.
husband. I got one you can take.
Seriously.
I'm
He's
just gonna
handsome,
say
I got
this.
mine too.
One of the barriers to me getting married too is, as mentioned in the group chat, the women I'm attracted to right now are apparently not attracted to me.
That's it.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go put this little one to bed because she got school tomorrow and my phone's about to die.
School
Yeah,
already?
I gotta get up and ride in the morning.
School already?
School starts
Whole
early,
day.
yeah. My kids have school in 2 weeks, and I still have to get them registered.
Holy cow.
Jeez.
I didn't know what school they were going to go to until they got there. So,
Fair enough.
Better stop it.
all right.
Go to the meet, I'll go to the school.
All right,
I'll
bye,
knock
guys.
on the
I don't know the
phone.
next time you'll see me. I'm going to be busy a lot for the next couple of weeks, but I'll try to pop in when I can.
Catch y'all
Please
later,
all
everybody.
be in touch.